There's something about the first time you visit a place that stays with you forever. My name is Julia, and my husband and I are here to share our adventures in Switzerland with you. We've all seen the pictures with the stunning lakes and mountains, but we wanted to find out if Switzerland really is all it seems. The journey starts by taking a flight to Geneva. We then need to take 4 different trains to reach Wengen, the place we'll be staying for the next week. As we sit back and relax, we see the landscape gradually start to change. We pass sparkling lakes with distant hills, and along crystal clear rivers with mountain backdrops. It's hard not to feel an excitement and curiosity that comes from knowing you are headed somewhere truly beautiful. Arriving in Wengen feels unreal. If this is how it starts, then I think we're in for something really special. We're staying at the historic Hotel Falcon, and we're up early to start exploring. Wengen is a small mountain village perched high above the Lauterbrunnen valley. You have to take a 10-minute train journey to reach it because it isn't accessible by car to the general public. But we've chosen it because it's peaceful, authentic, and perfectly positioned for the places we want to see. Walking here feels different. You're not dodging cars or rushing to see things. Instead, you're walking down pretty rural paths, admiring characterful chalets with their colourful flower-filled balconies, and looking out over panoramic views across the Lauterbrunnen valley. Our walk takes us up towards the picture-perfect Reformed church, from where you can enjoy some of the best views in Wengen. Eventually we find our way down to the village centre. There are hotels, gift shops and a few restaurants and cafes, and we get our first experience of the supermarket that we will find everywhere in Switzerland, the Coop. Eating in Switzerland is known for being expensive, so we found this invaluable for picking up slightly more affordable lunches, drinks and snacks. After lunch, we head back to the village centre as we're going to take a ride on our first ever Swiss gondola. And this isn't just any gondola. For an extra 5 Swiss francs, you can travel on its open-air rooftop balcony, which gives you the best views and the experience of being in the fresh mountain air. We watch as Wengen shrinks away beneath us, and as we approach the top, we get our first glimpse of the Eiger, Monk and Jungfrau. The summit has a restaurant, a gift shop and a modern children's playground, but the highlight by far is definitely the views. We take a small hike uphill to a crown-shaped viewing platform. From here you can see far-reaching views towards Interlaken and Lake Brienz. Eventually we head back down on the gondola and get to enjoy the spectacular views all over again. Our first full day in Switzerland has been amazing, and we can't wait for tomorrow as we've got an epic adventure planned. We wake to a beautiful sunny morning in Wengen, but today we'll be catching the cogwheel train down to Lauterbrunnen and travelling up the other side of the valley. From Lauterbrunnen train station we cross over the road and board a cable car to take us up to Schilthorn. We then board a train and take a short journey along the narrow gauge railway to Mürren, again with equally stunning views. Arriving in Mürren, we instantly notice how open and airy it feels. It is another car-free village, and because of this, it is a joy to wander peacefully along the narrow roads and paths. There's a cheerful, adventurous atmosphere here, and you can see evidence that this is a popular skiing destination in winter. As the village sits high above the valley, it also has some stunning views. But we don't stay here long, as we want to get to our next destination, the Schilthorn. The cable car station is situated on the other side of the village, and there is a midway stop called Spiez. Here there is a modern viewing platform with a small cafe where you can sit and take in the incredible views of the mountains. One more cable car takes us up to the summit. There is a small complex here which includes the famous revolving restaurant that was featured in a James Bond movie. For us though, the views from the skyline viewing platform were the main attraction. We take the cable car back down to Mürren and spend some time exploring the lower streets. There are rows of alpine chalets which are full of character, and the views down to the valley are spectacular. We make our way back to the train station and head back to the hotel. It's been an incredible day and we can't wait to explore more. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Although there will be mountains here, they won't be the star attraction, as today we'll be taking a ferry on the spectacular Lake Brienz. Our journey begins back down at Wengen train station, where we catch a train to Lauterbrunnen and then on to Interlaken Ost. The ferry terminal is directly in front of the station, and we got lucky with our timing as a steamboat was about to leave and we just managed to get on board. It is my birthday today, and we've been told that you could travel for free and in first class on many Swiss ferries as a birthday perk. You just need to bring some sort of ID, like a passport. First class gives you access to the top decks, which are usually much quieter and have an open deck for relaxing in the sun. That said, the lower decks were equally impressive on the steamboat. You can see the inner workings of the vessel, and there is a charming period-style restaurant here too. The route zigzags across the lake, stopping off at several of the lakeside villages. The water is a stunning turquoise, and forested hills rise from the shoreline. As Brienz comes into view, we get a glimpse of what is to come. Stepping ashore, the atmosphere is calm and welcoming. We wander along the promenade, where the water gently laps the shore. There are a few pretty restaurants dotted along the front, and plenty of benches to sit and admire the view. I've seen some photos of the Bruengasse, so we seek this out at the other end of town. This pretty street is often referred to as being the most beautiful in Europe, and it's easy to see why. The village has a road of shops that run parallel to the waterfront, and there are several places where you can cut through. On a trip like this, you often find yourself rushing about trying to see everything, but this isn't the place for rushing. It's a place to sit back and soak up the atmosphere. Eventually it's time to head back, so we wander down to the ferry terminal and discover that we'll be travelling on a much more modern boat. The rest of the afternoon is spent on the sunny top deck, sipping on a birthday drink and enjoying the magnificent views. It's been a simple adventure today. Trains, boats and pretty views, all put together to make the perfect birthday celebration. Today we're heading back up to Männlichen on the cable car, but this time we'll be doing what is arguably one of the most beautiful small hikes in the region. The hike starts from the summit where we were a few days ago, but instead of heading up to the crown viewing platform, we'll be following the path in the other direction towards the Eiger and Kleine Scheidegg. The path is mostly flat, but winds around the contours of the hillside. There are panoramic views down towards Grindelwald, and as you walk on, the Eiger becomes even more majestic. You then turn a corner and find yourself looking at the view of all views. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than that. We find our way back to the train station and travel down to Wengen. Today has been a day of incredible scenery. This is Switzerland as we imagined it. Breathtaking, magical and beautiful. We've done a lot of travelling over the last few days, So today we'll be taking just the one train down to the beautiful valley of Lauterbrunnen. We've already had glimpses of it from the train and cable car, but we wanted to see if it really is as spectacular as it looks. The train station brings us out on the main road which forms the centre of the village. After being in the car-free villages of Wengen and Mürren, it felt weird, almost stressful, having to watch out for the cars, buses and bikes that travel through here. It's undoubtedly pretty, but we wanted to get to see the more calm and relaxed parts of the village. At the end of the road there is a route that takes you away from the main street and towards a path that runs along the length of the valley. This path leads to Steckelberg and is a beautiful hike or bike ride, but today we're just wanting to relax and explore locally. We wander, somewhat aimlessly, around the village and find this picturesque church and churchyard. We then spot a path that leads down to the river. There is a pretty wooden bridge here, and we spend a while by the water's edge, simply enjoying being in such a beautiful place. Before we head back, I want to find a viewpoint that Lauterbrunnen is probably most famous for. A short walk up from the river leads us unexpectedly to it, and it's a beautiful surprise. Feeling tired, we head back to catch the train to the hotel. Today was just what we needed, as it offered a gentler day, but still full of discovery. Tomorrow will be our last full day, and we're determined to make the most of it. It's another beautiful morning in Wengen, and what a view to wake up to. Today we'll be visiting another of the region's lakes, Lake Thun. The train ride down to Lauterbrunnen is becoming quite familiar now, but we never tire of the views. This time though, we'll be travelling on to Interlaken, from where we'll take another train that follows the shoreline of Lake Thun. It's not long before we find the ferry terminal and board the boat that will take us across the length of this beautiful lake. As we set off from Thun, the views open out and there are some stunning castles and historic buildings to admire. The ferry crosses over the lake and we see Spiez coming into view. We have decided to get off here as it's supposed to be one of the prettiest stops on the lake. We find our way up to a charming courtyard which has a medieval castle and church. There is a small bathing area where we see people taking a swim and enjoying the lake. We wander around the attractive marina and soak up the Swiss sunshine. We head back to the pier and wait for the next ferry whilst watching the boats come and go. Back on board, we wave goodbye to Spiez. We pass colourful hotels with beautiful gardens, small boathouses nestled into the shore, and spectacular cliffs that rise out of the lake. The ferry arrives back at Interlaken West, and we need to take a short walk to the other train station, East or Ost. Interlaken is the main town in this area, and a lot of people use it as a base. It's not considered as aesthetic as some other places, but nevertheless we found some beautiful spots with grand hotels and an expansive green where you can sit and watch the paragliders landing. There are some interesting and somewhat expensive shops and lots of places to eat. We follow the path along the river, and for a town the water is insanely blue. It's not long before we reach Interlaken Ost and head back to Wengen for the last time this trip. It's been another day of adventure, travelling on trains, boats and watching the scenery unfold. And just like that, it's time to go home. From scenic hikes to stunning train journeys and relaxing boat trips, the Bernese Oberland has given us so many incredible adventures and a trip we'll never forget. But perhaps more than that, it's opened our eyes to a new kind of holiday. And we already know that we'll be back.